Naga 124, your source for news, entertainment, food, and jibber jabber. Put on your thinking caps. Alina, prepare for your debriefing on current events. This week on Naga 124, we discuss Zivigirova beating Medvedeva in the Frigashibara in the Olympics. Honestly, most of that was actual words. That should concern you. I'm having a stroke. Please stand by. Hello, everybody! How is everyone doing on this fabulous Friday, February 23rd, 2018? Welcome to Naga 124. As always, I'm Nico.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Sam.
That's right, we have a guest today, folks.
I feel so special.
You are...
Do you sound okay?
I don't know, do
Can we get a sound check?
Sound check's good on my end.
Sam, talk.
Okay, hello?
Oh, okay. So, here's the fun fact. The guest mic is just hooked up to one of these.
Okay.
So,
wait,
Sam,
am I
you're
coming
gonna
in?
have to talk as loud as Joe talks, because I usually have to set his down to the
well, we
lowest
can
setting.
share mics. We can.
Yeah,
let's
maybe.
move it
Yeah,
over.
you two
I
are
mean,
the
I
quietest.
can scream.
You should scream.
Ah!
There we go.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah,
Do you want me to
that
just-
works.
Much better.
I'm just naturally loud, though.
Yeah, you are.
But then again, you are. This is coming from you.
Yeah. I have heavy bass in my voice. So I think we should start by talking about figure skating, women's figure skating.
Women's figure skating.
And the
It's
reason-
so interesting.
So it was based.
Ah!
Why would you do that? That
Why?
Why did you do
I can't turn that mic off. You've
Alright.
doomed us all.
We're doomed
We
now.
should have tested this.
How?
I don't know.
Okay, so Russian women's figure skating.
Cue the Tetris theme.
What?
What?
So what about the Russian women's figure
So
skating?
Russia finally won a gold medal in the Olympics. They can't play the Russian national anthem because Russia can't win anything because they've officially been banned from the Olympics because every single one of
All
their
the
athletes
dope.
were
All
doing
the dope.
all the dope. So
I mean, that's
Did
quite
they-
an achievement.
yeah.
Yeah. Did they actually play the Tetris theme for their... They can't play the national anthem. It'd be great if they just played that.
They did what they did in Beijing. They just played the Borat version of Kazakhstan's anthem. They actually did that once.
The one where he's singing about...
Yeah. I mean, Kazakhstan used to be in the Soviet Union. Close enough.
Close enough.
This is
so
my sister.
Everyone thought that 18-year-old, and let me make sure I get this right because...
Stand by for a butchering of the Cyrillic alphabet.
Oh no, this is not butchering it. This is literally how it...
Can
Are
I
you
pronounce
ready?
it? Show me.
Oh no. Here we go. 18-year-old Evgenia Medvedeva.
Wait, show me. Let me try.
Beautiful. Let me see.
That's actually the correct pronunciation, by the way.
Evgenia Medvedeva
Yeah,
and
Medvedev.
Alina Zagatova.
it's Zagitova, actually.
Zagatova.
So, everyone thought 18-year-old Evgenia Medvedeva was going to win gold, but her 15-year-old apprentice slash person most likely to get murdered in the next week by Russians. Alina Zagitova won.
What are you talking about, Nico? Will be an accident.
It was funny though because
It'll
there
be
was
a
just
suicide. You shot yourself 2
after
times
it was
in the back of the
over,
head.
you just see Medvedeva, and she's wearing like those nice silk gloves, and you just see her adjusting them behind Zagitova really slowly, and I'm just like, this is gonna go O.J. Simpson really quickly.
This isn't just Tanya Hardin, this is going full OJ.
So, in case you wanted to know how the standings are in women's free skate, whatever, figure skating.
For those of you interested.
For the gold is 15-year-old Alina Zagitova. In silver is Evgenia Medvedeva. And in bronze is Caitlin Osmond. To round out the top three, Canada actually won something
Yay.
in bronze. Which puts into perspective the fact that the U.S. Women's hockey and curling team opened up a can of whoop-ass on the Canadians and won goal. In the same day, beat them in hockey and curling.
Two sports.
The two most Canadian things you can think of. Hockey and curling.
The two most Canadian sports, and we beat them, and it is great.
One of the Canadian, I think it was one of the Canadian hockey players, ripped her silver medal off of her neck the second she got it because she was pissed. And everyone's like, hey, that's so un-Canadian of you, eh? You should be a good sport about it.
Say sorry.
It was so, I was like, it's like, that's so un-Canadian of you. And I'm like,
I don't
yeah,
know.
man.
I don't know the name of the skier, but I saw there was one girl for skiing. She was playing for like Hungary. She was on the Hungarian team.
Oh, and she was born in the U.S.
She was born in the U.S.
Yeah.
So one of her parents was part Hungarian, so she was able to register for the Hungary team. But she wasn't there to compete. She was just kind of there to be there.
For
so
funsies.
When she went down the slope, she didn't do any tricks. She kind of just went up and down.
Honestly, me.
And then she got to the end and she's leaving.
Yeah,
That's about right.
Yeah.
Just give a little, well,
Sounds
you
about
tried.
I'm pretty sure that's how these Olympics have been going.
Well, you tried. The Olympics.
I mean, these are the Olympics of woo. And what was so funny? So I watch back to back. I'll watch the NBC broadcast, and then I'll watch the Canadian broadcast. And the Canadian broadcast is, like I said last week, is a little bit better because you don't have like Johnny Weir screaming over the top of it. But what's really funny is I was just saying the fact that every time they do any sort of spin with their arms over their head in figure skating, Johnny Weir has to mention it. And here's exactly what he says. There they go with their hands over their head. When they put their hands over their head, it makes it harder because their center of gravity rises up towards their head instead of their body. And he said it about 16 consecutive times, every single time someone put their hands over their head. And then I flipped over to CBC, and the other guy was talking about their hands over their head, and he's like, and I know I keep saying this all the time, and I know you're sick of me saying this, but I don't really like when they put their hands over their head because the flop down afterwards is just kind of dumb. But I'm not going to keep saying it because I know I annoy the crap out of all of you when I say it. And I'm like, the Canada guy's very self-aware.
The Olympics commentary is really bad.
The Canadian one's good.
The Canadian one's okay,
The
but
Canadian one's okay. The American one's really like,
it's just
We gotta,
it's
hype up
banter. It like has
everything.
nothing
Yeah.
to do with like the. Like, someone just
Like-
did an excellent stunt, and they're like, do you like pudding? Yeah, I know. Like,
people keep saying how bad it is, and they're not
It's
like
really
they're not
bad.
making any improvements.
No, they're not. That's bad. The best one was, so they didn't get their medals last night for figure skating. They got the much sought after Stuffy, which is a little stuffed toy.
Stuffy.
Really?
So, yeah, and they
I mean, I'd
according
rather have
Canada
that.
calls them Stuffies.
Stuffies?
Yeah, because
What?
you know how Canada is.
Because Canada's got to be Canada.
Hey.
E.
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 But so now there's only one more thing the U.S. needs to go and beat Canada in, and that is a poutine and Labatt competition.
I'm there, let's
Eating
see it.
There's
competition.
nothing but
I
poutine and
volunteer.
Labatt.
I volunteer as well. We will both be proud representatives of the United States.
Speaking of greasy and foods and beer, Pints for Progress was last night.
Ooh.
And I brought my friends and we had some beers. Well, I had
Was
a
anybody
beer.
playing
Some-
there? Any bands?
Zach Ward was there, and he's white guy on acoustic guitar.
Is it good?
Did he play
he's
Wonderwall?
No, he didn't.
I was about to say, did he
just
play
played
the
a bunch-
cliche?
He played a
acoustic
bunch of
song?
Beatles songs. So yeah.
Yay!
But it was a fun time. There was 3 different people competing to get the $490 pot. And the first one was Niagara Track and Field, who won last year's Pints at the Hard Rock. The middle group was one of them's from the NAC, the other one is just starting this. they're trying to take the Me Too movement out of social media and combine it with art and poetry and dance and hold events. And it was an interesting concept until, and as my very pro-feminist friend was there, kind of held her head for a bit, when they said that the Me Too movement is the most important moment in women's history ever.
Wait, what about women's suffrage and
Which is kind of debatable.
I wouldn't say.
It's a little.
I wouldn't say
well-
Me Too's only for women either.
Yeah,
like
well,
it's
yeah,
for
it's
victims
for-
of sexual misconduct.
it's not? Yeah, it's also for children.
I mean,
and
it also reeks of white feminism, like...
What?
Yeah, and
Wait, what?
What, the Me Too movement?
No, what about white feminine? Oh God,
Yeah,
Are we going down this path?
Well, we're not gonna go down the
I
path.
won't.
I'm
Oh.
stating.
I'm bantering.
Wait,
One
what do
of
you
the
mean
things
by
that was-
white feminism? What dictates white feminism?
Okay, Joe, you can look it up, and I mean actually look it up with a real
It's
source.
probably.
Don't.
I will.
Not,
oh,
not
I
your
will.
Twitter, not your
Oh,
sarcasm.
I will look it up.
stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. My propaganda is not as good as your propaganda.
No, it's not.
No, my propaganda beats yours.
No, because you call yours propaganda. I call mine bad magazine.
Same.
But the third one was people that were just looking for equipment to fix up the Rose Garden in Hyde Park, and they won because honestly, when you say, "Hey, we want to fix up the Rose Garden because isn't it so pretty?"
Wait, you said there's a third one? What was the?
Okay, there was 3 pitches. The second was the Me Too.
What was the first one?
The track and field that won last year came back to ask for more money,
Okay.
and then the third one was the Rose Garden. The Rose Garden won, which was great. And then afterwards, we friends and I went down to the falls, and I got to see it at night. I got yelled at by Totes My Goats because I've never been on Maid of the Mist. I've
Totes
never
My
been
Goats.
on Maid of the Mist, and I got yelled at by
You've
Totes
never
My
been on
Goats.
Maid of
How
the
have
Mist?
you never
Didn't we?
been on the Maid of the Mist?
Didn't we have
No.
field trips on
No.
Maid of the Mist?
No, you
No,
guys. No,
back in grade school.
your elite. Yeah, and maybe your elite 8A did.
8A.
8A.
There was such. I
don't
deserve to
Listen
win.
to me. Listen to
that-
me, right? Listen to me, right? First of all, I don't remember a single thing
Yeah.
from middle school. So you can say this, and I will not remember it.
Okay,
So go ahead.
well, still, I'm gonna say it. The stock market game in Vitello's class.
I remember that.
I was.
I
Gonna,
remember
I
that.
picked Exxon. I was set to win.
Right, and
And
then-
and John Conti blew up the oil refinery as he claimed as he's running around the school, and I was gonna call the FBI.
Wonderful.
I am still sore over that because there's no
Oh,
way
I
I
can
should have Exxon in 010.
That was like, what, 8-9 years ago?
That was
That was
8 years ago.
8 years ago.
It was
Oh,
10.
jeez.
it's 2018 minus 2010, which is 8.
I'm sorry,
Also-
I can't.
Oh,
Also, I looked up that thing. It looks a bit dumb.
what? Look,
Oh, the white feminism
Okay,
thing.
let's
I can,
not-
I can
Okay.
argue that.
we moved on from that.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about
I got one.
Do you?
Yes, it's a good hot button one.
no.
So
Oh, no.
you guys hear? This shouldn't be a surprise, but Trump said something stupid, but this is something
oh.
I really take effect
Wait,
with.
Wait,
wait.
which one?
What are you talking about? Because I think I heard. Is this
Okay,
something
so
Trump said?
here's the thing. After the terrible tragedy that happened in Florida, he made a comment along the lines of violent video games and violent movies are having a negative effect
no.
on the youth of
What is
America.
this,
And I was like,
1998?
are you Jack Thompson? No, I thought we beat you in the 80s and 90s. You coming back now?
Here's the thing, though, right? He said, yeah, violent video games and movies are having an effect on the youth. And then he also added, they should have a rating system for this to prevent the youth from...
Oh,
It's
no,
like,
Donald.
yeah,
It's only
yeah.
not like we
do
already
have
have that.
ratings.
You mean?
Bring back the Hayes Codes 2018.
I'm just,
Oh,
I'm just-
God.
like, is like Slim Shady gonna show up, like pointing at the parental advisory label and going?
Is Marilyn Manson coming back?
Actually, Marilyn Manson just had a meltdown live on stage.
Again?
Yeah.
He's always drunk.
And
so-
everyone was
like, what else is
asking.
new?
Everyone was like, "We want our money back." I'm like, "You went to go see." Like, first of all, you spent money to go see Marilyn Manson in 2018.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, no offense to my sister, but why would you spend money to see Marilyn Manson in 2018?
Yeah.
Of course, I don't like Marilyn Manson, so that
I mean,
doesn't-
like, you paid to see Marilyn Manson. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah, you expect. Although
you
honestly,
expect a nice
he did,
little
He did
set.
a nice, good show at the Rapids and
Yeah.
didn't have a meltdown because I mean, you can't have the Rapids is too nice to have a meltdown in.
Yeah.
If you-
It's such a nice place.
If you want a similar style show, but sort of higher quality, I recommend Alice Cooper.
I recommend The Wiggles.
Yeah, actually, I think we can agree that. Honestly, the best show to see is
Kids Bop Live in
Yeah.
Darien Lake in August.
Yes.
Nah, man, I'm
Can
getting.
we talk about
I'm
how
getting
like,
ready for the Dead and Company coming to
Can we
Darien
talk
Lake.
about how arbitrary ticket pricing is at concerts, though?
You're realizing
Yeah.
this now?
No, but it's like okay, so, Dropkick Murphys and
At the Rapids, yep.
yeah, we're at the Rapids.
Woo!
And Marilyn Manson was at the Rapids, but Nightwish, the Nordic metal band,
Yeah, I'm familiar with
Yeah.
them. No,
They're
I'm
cool.
not.
They're kind
I
of
don't
cool.
they wrote
I
Sleeping Sun. They
vaguely
were
know
vaguely.
them.
I know one song from them. They were charging double what Marilyn Manson and
The Murphys.
Like you could get a ticket to Marilyn Manson for like 20 to 30. You could probably get like in the 20 to 30.
So-
And it
they
wasn't
were
just.
charging like 45 for general
Why-
admission.
And it wasn't just the Murphys. It was
For the-
two other bands as well. It was three
Yeah.
bands on the docket for $20,
If you're
which
not
isn't
as
bad.
well known as other bands, why would you charge more? Than
I don't know. Nightwish was charging like because I'm like, oh, I'd go see Nightwish for no reason other than it seems like something.
You'd think.
I don't go to concerts and it seems like something arbitrary and it's like, oh, it'd be $50 for the tickets. I'm
Are
like,
they
oh,
are
how
they
much did
big
we
stuff
spend?
in
we-
they're
Europe?
big in like in the Viking area.
They're big in Scandinavia.
we
They're
bought
Vikings.
we bought tickets for Fall Out Boy in September. The tickets were like what, $70.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Fall
like
Out.
60,
Yeah, I
70
know,
each.
but then it's like KeyBank Center. You want to park, you got to spend like $30. No,
And
the
then the
convenience
ticket
fees.
the convenience fees. We
Yeah.
spent almost $200 for 2 tickets.
Yeah,
Yep.
Isn't that how much we spent on the meet and greets back in 2015?
$200 a piece. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Thi-
still.
This is why you don't see concerts.
Yeah,
concerts
no,
are
you're
good.
wrong. Concerts
They're
are great.
not
As
that
somebody,
good.
yes, as somebody who like tends to listen to a lot of concert recordings, I can tell you that it's definitely awesome if you're there live and like.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's
feeling.
great.
Definitely a different experience live
Like,
than
I-
to
a
listen
whole-
to it.
Oh yeah,
different experience.
I once went to this one in Art Park. It was a Pink Floyd tribute band. Probably one of the most awesome musical experiences because the effects, not just the effects, but the feeling of being there and the feeling of the sound. I literally felt like the bass was kicking me in the chest.
Yeah.
Which is the best feeling ever
I
at a
was
Pink
doing
Floyd
that yesterday
show.
by playing a bass boosted version of Sandstorm and the walls were shaking
I
and
felt
I
So
broke
proud
the
of you.
speakers. It was great.
You haven't changed, like, at all.
No.
No.
nah.
No.
But, like, when I saw Streetlight Manifesto back a while ago.
Street Life Manifesto. Wow, we're going to the old days.
Yeah, no.
What's that? I
they're
don't
like-
know what
They're
that
a
is.
ska band.
They're ska punk, and so, like, you know, you got the giant
So they're
horn
Sublime?
section. No.
Yeah,
No.
they're probably on the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, those that.
Yeah, let's go with that. But
Tony
no.
Hawk Pro Skater.
Like, you could feel the horns just, like, blasting at you.
All right. Yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend that. Like, it's definitely the feeling of being in live concert and the epic feeling of being in live concert, and especially depending on the band, you're definitely almost
Yeah.
guaranteed
They
to get
they
a great
definitely
show.
put on like a show. It's definitely a different experience than just listening to the.
Definitely. Like, say, for example, there are bands that really do benefit off live shows instead of studio recordings. The Dead made a living off that. I can name you 1,000 jam bands that make their money off awesome live performances.
Does
So,
your jam band make money off of your live performances,
we're
Joe?
working on it. Mm-hmm. We literally cut me a break. The guitarist's hand is broken. Our drummer doesn't want to get on the drums. And that has just not been working.
He doesn't want to get on the.
Get a new drummer.
Well, he's
new
willing to
drums.
get on, and he's like a 13-year vet, and he's the brother of my guitarist.
Oh, I thought you were about to say he was a 13-year-old. I'm like, what?
No, he's a 13-year
Wait,
veteran.
how old is the whoever just joined you?
The woman?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
The woman.
no, Jessica's her name, and she's like 36. She's got kids, but she's a great singer.
So there's a 19-year-old, a 36-year-old,
Another
a
my
5-year-old on drums.
Joe is
Sounds
forming.
about right.
Joe is
Badger.
forming. Joe is forming metric.
He's not even for. He's forming. What was Scott Pilgrim? What was the band Scott was in Scott Pilgrim?
Sex Bomb.
Yeah,
Sex
Sex
Bomb.
Bomb.
I'm yeah. We don't have a bass player though, so that won't work.
They're gonna sing about garbage trucks.
I can play the Final Fantasy II theme on the.
Now we can play whatever. I'm still working on writing originals, so hopefully
He's
that.
gonna write some originals, ladies. And
I have
gents.
originals.
Here he goes. Oh man, the most original songs you could ever.
Mark
think
my
of.
word, Nico. Mark my word.
Mark not his words, just one word.
The one.
I'll mark the one.
The one.
It's Mark. The word is Mark.
Yeah.
That's his new single dropping.
Mark.
Mark. First album's just called like Mark.
I think you need to
It's just all the songs. It's just like 12 songs named Mark.
Mark Part 1, Part 2, Part 3.
Is this
Mark
like,
the interlude.
Is this
It's like a concept album, and it's like this prog rock thing.
Is this like Lucas Graham?
Lucas Graham.
That guy that wrote that Once I Was 7 Years Old.
Oh,
song
God,
was-
don't get me started.
I'm not that
So here's the
egotistical.
deal.
I'm not
Lucas
that
Graham
egotistical.
is his name, but it's also his band, and he also and it gets screamed by an audience in the middle of the recording, and it's off of the album Lucas Graham, which is his second album off of his first album, Lucas Graham. And this guy talks about how he doesn't really care for the fame.
No, tell me
Lucas
you
Graham
don't.
by
Sure
Lucas
you don't,
Graham.
buddy.
I mean, at this point, he's turning into a Pokemon. His next song is just gonna be him saying Lucas Graham over and over again.
Lucas Graham. I caught a shiny.
Shiny Luke. So how's it going? How's it going?
How's it going?
Yeah, how's it going?
I exist.
Existing
Ooh,
in a
me too.
Oh, that's a new one.
Philosophy.
existing in an existential
The world is
universe.
collapsing, and we're just like, hey.
We will all be forgotten in 100 years.
The world may be collapsing, but we have an Asian food place in Galley now.
Yay!
Stir fry.
A lot of people over there.
Yeah, there is.
Like, I don't know. Now that I have a vehicle and I can drive places.
I can go get
Speaking
better
of
food.
speaking of stir
I mean,
fry,
I'm
I
just
dropped
too
by.
lazy to drive half the time.
You guys ever drop by that Vietnamese place across from La Hacienda?
You mean Faux Golden, the one that was voted as having the best pad thai in West
I
Virginia?
went there. I went there.
I,
It was delicious. Its
Yes.
stir fry was delicious.
Yes, because they have some of the best Vietnamese food in Western New York.
Yes, people go there. They're good.
I don't know how I feel about Vietnamese food. I don't really like that much.
Have you ever had Vietnamese food?
You ever had
I've tried it. Yeah.
What have you had?
Just like pad thai.
Pad thai's okay. There's a type of soup, and I can't remember what kind of soup it is, that has bean shoots and the
Isn't that
rice
pho?
noodles. What?
Isn't that
Oh,
fun?
you know, maybe it was pho. I tried. I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't. They both of them go
Pho.
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 They go together. Pho and Vietnamese.
This
go
is
together.
getting weird. Oh, I gotta tell you something, Nico. You're
What?
gonna love this.
You gotta. Oh no. I'm
No,
not gonna
you're gonna love
I'm
this.
not gonna love this.
You know that movie you told me about, Paddington?
Oh, did you?
I
go
saw it.
Oh no.
The
You saw
original
the first one?
I
or
saw the
Paddington?
first one.
Okay.
I saw the
Now
first
you gotta
one.
go see
Now
Paddington
we
2.
Now I
all
gotta
need
see
to
the
go
second one.
Paddington too.
Is it still in theaters?
I don't know.
No, honestly, Coco's still at the Regal, but Paddington moved to Four Seasons.
Cheaper Paddington 2.
Yay!
Hooray!
Discount Paddington.
Get the fully greased up
okay,
butter for
we need
cheap
to start
price.
making discount characters. So what would a discount Paddington be?
Little Barrett.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The English
And you're
bear.
not
I know what I'm disappointed in? That there is no longer some 4-year-old that's now in his 30s going, Little Bear, I got your toothpaste. Orange out training toothpaste. That commercial played for like half of my
You're-
life.
you're
I
And
remember
kid is,
that.
Flashbacks.
I remember that.
Like everyone, like that's a generational thing. They need to bring that commercial back.
Wasn't there a Franklin one too?
Yeah.
Franklin toothpaste commercial.
Yeah, I swear that.
Franklin didn't have
It's
teeth.
Franklin.
Franklin didn't have teeth. That's the
Franklin
point.
didn't have
Franklin doesn't need toothpaste.
He doesn't need no toothpaste.
I remember. Jeez, you're giving me a nostalgia
When you want to sell
feeling here.
toothpaste, he does.
Suddenly he opens like
He brushes. He brushes. He
Giant
brushes his
face.
shell with it. That's how it goes. Shell.
Turtle
paste.
wax.
No.
Oh. Oh, that pun is bad. Shame
Please
on you. Go.
Leave.
Get out. Bobby
So-
doesn't get it.
No, I don't
Bobby,
care.
Bobby doesn't get it because he doesn't have a
Doesn't
car.
care.
I'm more just horrified by Joe's laugh.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. So that
yeah.
that was.
Is it
We
really
got
that
a comment.
terrifying?
We got a comment one time on your laugh.
Is it that
We
terrifying?
got a comment one time.
A comment.
Your laugh is very intense
I wanted
because
to-
the mic set that it actually.
I try to back away from the mic when I'm laughing.
You should
I
just
back away from the mic to
bury-
breathe in.
I'm away
Chocolate
from the
rain.
mic, so chocolate. rain.
I wanted to talk about the sandwich alignment chart because Nico
Oh.
said a
What
Pop-Tart.
is this? What is this?
A Pop-Tart isn't considered a sandwich.
Pop Tart is not a sandwich, but you can make a Pop Tart sandwich.
Okay,
But
wait, hold on
under-
a second.
What?
Let me see this.
No, the Pop Tart thing though.
Just show
Pop
me
Tarts
the
are ravioli. Change my mind.
Pop Tarts are not ravioli. Ravioli is encased in pasta.
But
Pop
Let
Tart
me
is
look up the
a
definition
Well,
of
hold
But
on
it's a
sec, hold on
sugar
sec, all right?
ravioli.
Hold on.
This is like the hot dog is a sandwich question.
A Pop-Tart falls in the bottom right side of the sandwich alignment chart, which is radical sandwich anarchy.
Yes.
Which combines structure rebel,
That's my
can
new
contain
band name.
any food enveloped in any way by a containing food, and ingredient rebel can contain literally any food product sandwiched together. Thus
let me
you
see.
get Pop-Tart in the bottom right corner.
So let's see what we got here.
This looks like a D&D alignment
we got,
chart.
There's ingredient purist, ingredient neutral, ingredient rebel, structure purist, structure neutral, and structure rebel. A hardline traditionalist, a BLT is a sandwich. A structural neutral ingredient purist is a sub is a sandwich. And a structure rebel would say a chicken wrap is a sandwich. Ingredient neutral, a chip buddy is a sandwich.
A what?
Putting chips and
Never
bread
had a
and
chip
all
buddy.
that. True neutral is a hot dog is a sandwich. And structure rebel ingredient neutral is a burrito is a sandwich. Structural purist ingredient rebel says an ice cream between waffles is a sandwich. Structural neutral ingredient rebel, an ice cream taco is a sandwich. And radical is a Pop-Tart. I am probably somewhere between hardline traditional and structural neutral ingredient purist. Like a sub is a sandwich, a BLT is a sandwich. A chip buddy is technically a sandwich because it's in between bread. A hot dog is not quite. A burger is a sandwich, but a hot dog because of the way it's.
Because it's a tube.
Yeah, I
But
think.
a sub is a sandwich. A sub is a tube.
Yeah, but a sub hit is loose material, not the bread. Like the bread is important in it, but I think that a hot dog is self-contained within itself. So you're just putting a self-contained item on it. Like a sandwich has layers.
Wait, a hot dog is self-contained in itself.
subs have layers.
So
too.
is a hot dog without the bun a sandwich?
No,
It's a
hot dog-
skin which envelops a meat.
Okay, see, that's you're going full rogue, so you need to stop.
Going off the sandwich
Going
alignment
full
Full
chart.
rogue.
sandwich. I mean, by that logic, technically, this studio is a sandwich because it's encasing us.
Bobby,
We are all
might as well
sandwiches,
be.
and
It's
we
not
are encased
edible.
in
It's
you.
not edible.
Bobby,
We are
The
sandwiches.
qualification
Bobby.
of sandwich is that it has to be edible.
You are.
Listen, I am edible, not preferably by
wanna
anybody.
know
But you
How
are,
do you
so you're a
define-
sandwich.
Bobby, the
Oh,
whole universe
Sam.
is a sandwich on us. Don't you get it, man?
Earth
Gravity's
sandwich.
our bread, man.
Did you see the picture where it's like one guy's on one side of the world and he puts a piece of bread on the ground, and then the other guy's on the other side, and then it's a Earth sandwich.
I saw like an extension of that where some guy messaged this Indian dude on Facebook from the United States. He was like, "Hey, put a piece of
That's
bread
what I
on
was
the
talking
ground."
about.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, jeez.
Yay, Earth sandwich.
Great. Let's just ban sandwiches.
No sandwiches
No.
allowed.
No
You
sandwiches.
are so fun at parties. You seem like such a fun like a fun fascist.
Him?
Yeah, Nico's a fun Nazi.
Fun Nazi.
No
is
fun
You mean
allowed.
no fun allowed?
I don't know.
Around me, he is.
Well, because you're just a pain in the butt.
Yeah, but I'm doing
Your
it for
definition
laughs.
of fun is horrible.
My definition of fun's better than yours.
Your definition of fun is like arson.
No. I
My
didn't
definition
say
of
that.
fun. My definition of fun is like, hey, let's have some legal, clean, wholly age appropriate.
Hey, let's make
fun.
some laws.
Yeah.
Let's make legislation.
Or like, hey, we're gonna drive around the Summit Mall, and I'll just point things out. And my friends are like, hey, let's break in the middle of the night. And I'm like, hey, no,
I'd do that.
you're gonna get arrested.
Okay, I wouldn't break in there.
Speaking of legislation, I can bring this up. This goes back to the video game violence from earlier. A representative in Rhode Island is planning on introducing legislation that puts a tax on video games rated mature or higher, and that tax would go towards like mental health research.
Hold on, I have to make this. I want to make this abundantly clear. So let me just get this real close to the mic and make sure everybody hears me. Is it muted, or can they still hear me?
They can still hear you.
Okay.
Video games do not cause violence.
They don't.
How many times do I need to tell people this? I've written multiple papers on this. How many times is the reincarnation of Jack Thompson gonna come here and we have to fight them back with facts?
Violent video games don't cause violent acts.
I mean, facts are fake news. Didn't you hear that?
Yeah. There's the caveat on that, which is where people lose their minds,
Yeah.
and there's a small is individuals that are mentally susceptible to violent tendencies.
Yeah.
And this is regardless
of the
can
medium.
be
But they will latch
Coerced
on to
by-
anything.
exactly,
It's not just
anything.
video
Yeah.
games.
Movies,
TV
but-
shows.
I mean, it's
a
not like
book.
you take like a perfectly well-adjusted kid, give them GTA, and then they're gonna.
Oh no! Now they're gonna
no.
kill people. No.
Murderer, no.
Yeah, I would be the worst driver ever if video
Yeah.
games meant
Yeah,
anything.
if I followed GTA logic, I'd be ramming a car into a building and killing myself on multiple occasions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mostly because it can't drive in GTA.
No, well, I try to drive, but then I die via tree.
Yeah.
Because trees
You
can't be knocked
You run
over.
into a bush and just like slams.
Why?
Yeah.
I
Why
had,
do
um,
lampposts go over, but trees don't?
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had,
it has to do with the engine.
I never had GTA. I had Midnight Drive Dub City Edition,
Well, it's not GTA.
which
That's-
is
Yeah.
well, you can't do any of the heist
it's
stuff,
still
but it's just
still
driving.
Rockstar though.
Yeah, it's GTA, but just the driving and the
Yeah.
cars, and
Well,
it's like
that's
it's
called
fun.
racing.
But I'd always just well, you can't. There's no even. It's freestyle, so you're just
Yeah.
driving around a town
So,
crashing into things.
like Euro Truck Sim, but
Not Euro Truck
chaotic.
Sim. Euro Truck
Yeah,
Sim.
pretty much.
Euro Truck Sim is a
Pretty much.
simulation truck simulator.
But I'd always try to follow the law. Like if there was a red light, I would hit the brake and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd always like skid through it so that I just keep driving.
play Euro Truck Simulator.
My favorite
Did
thing
you
is
that's-
though,
me
I would
That's the
driving in
best
real
for
life?
podcasts.
whenever and it was actually timed. Rockstar had timed it where if you drive like full gear it and turn down the side street, the light will turn red. But if you go fast enough, there's a train coming, and you can beat the train, go up a ramp, and fly over to on top of the roof
Yeah.
of the nearest building. I was like,
Play
yes.
play Desert Bus. Have you heard of Desert Bus?
the Penn and Teller Desert Bus.
So it's a game where you're a bus driver
Yeah.
and you have to drive from I don't know where it's from or to, but it's basically an 8-hour drive there and back in real time.
Oh no.
So you drive for 16 hours.
Why?
And
But
then,
why would you
and then
want
when you
that?
get back, you get 1 point, and then you do it again, and then you get another point,
At
and then
least-
you do it again.
You see, I actually do get the appeal of like driving simulators, like Euro Truck simulators, because
Mm-hmm.
or like space sims. There's like this one space game where you're just flying in the emptiness of space. I just put on a podcast and it's great.
Yeah.
What game are you talking about?
What's that one like space where it's like you're flying through space and you're like a trade ship or something? It's like
Wait, what?
I know of Elite Dangerous.
and that might be
That's one.
I used
There's
to
also
do,
No Man's Sky,
I was just about
which
to say
no,
that,
is
yeah.
not.
no.
I used to do there was an alpha for a ship sinking simulator.
Yeah.
Of
but
course there was.
and of course, like it's supposed to work on my computer, and they're like, "Well, it doesn't work on AMD." I'm like, "Actually, I have
It
NVIDIA."
doesn't work on AMD.
It didn't work on AMD.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
No, literally, it's like there was something in the alpha that like,
When
glitched
was
in the
this?
processor. About a year ago.
Did you? Okay.
I don't think that's how it works. Well, it's like system requirements are based on like all your parts, yeah, and if something like there's no way something can't not work for a specific like branded hardware. Like if the developers partnered with like either Nvidia or AMD, they can optimize it more towards
Yeah,
that
it was
card,
just alpha.
but-
For some reason, it just. But I mean,
Yeah.
it glitched on mine
was
too,
an
and it just
alpha.
never worked.
It was an alpha, yeah.
So
And
Like,
also,
no
I don't
matter
know- I
which
don't know
way
the
you
hardware
cut
of
it,
your computer. So.
it was awful. Like, and it should. And like people that get it working, it's really cool because like you have the Titanic, then you
Yeah.
punch a hole in it, and it sinks and breaks in half and stuff, and it's like,
You
whoa.
you've shown me like videos
Yeah.
of that
Historical
ship thing.
reenactment sim.
There's a
Yay!
they have like Titanic rooms on VR chat and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But that in
VR
that case,
chat.
it's like wow.
Let's fill them with water. And
Let's
stick
put
them
like
Never was.
Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club and Sonic the Hedgehog and
On the
like,
Titanic. and sink it. Let's put them all on a ship and sink it so it can
Yay.
end.
Titanic 2 featuring Monica and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Titanic 2, Electric Boogaloo.
My phone is not unlocking. I
Oh,
don't know what's wrong
no.
with it.
I just gotta say, I never really got into like ship sinking simulator. Wasn't there like although I was always into like you know the Total War games?
Yeah, I know Total War.
Total War's great. Yeah, I always liked like real time strategy. Hearts of
It's-
Iron is awesome because with Hearts of Iron I can take over the world as fascist Sweden
Hearts of Iron
and
is,
communist America.
Hearts of Iron is very complex, like a very complex strategy.
But it's the fun complex. I get to take over the world as the God King of Canada.
That
is
makes
that?
sense.
That makes sense.
what?
What?
I'm just staring at Bobby.
We've gone into weird territory at this point. I'm currently looking up stuff to talk about.
Oh wait, there was. Oh man, there was.
What the thingy?
Governor. Oh gosh, look up governor chocolate milk diversity. Someone looked
Oh,
at it. You saw that.
Yeah.
That was, we need to talk about that.
2018, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it was the Illinois governor. This headline: Illinois governor demonstrates diversity by drinking chocolate milk.
So there's a story about the actual story behind it, though.
I
it's
think that's
not
how
his-
it works.
It's not his fault. Basically, it was like the diversity director of, like, I think it was Hyatt or Hilton or one of those hotel chains, gave him white milk and chocolate syrup to put in it to show that how diversity is important and inclusion is powerful, and then drink the chocolate milk. So the hotel chain people made him do it.
Hyatt hotels.
Yeah, Hyatt made him drink chocolate milk to explain diversity. And everyone's like, oh man, R.I.P. racism.
Ladies and
Just
gentlemen,
killed racism with chocolate milk.
I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is truly a remarkable time in our history. Racism has died via the hands of chocolate milk.
And I think Joe might have just brought it back.
Good job, Joe.
What? That was my best preacher voice.
That was
My southern preacher voice.
Speaking of southern preacher, did you see who died this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Died.
Look, I know it's
Billy
not.
Graham.
Billy Graham.
I know
Who's
it's not
that?
right to speak
You don't know who
ill
Billy
of
Graham
the
is?
dead.
No.
I had this discussion in one of my classes on Wednesday because my professor brought it up, and
It's Billy Graham.
somebody was like, "Who's Billy Graham?" And she like went off on him.
Basically, for those of you
Yeah.
who don't know, Billy Graham is the man who. He's the guy who basically founded the
Televangelism
that
movement.
evangelical movement.
It's not even just the evangel. It was televangelism.
Yeah,
He
it's-
created televangelism.
You know,
pretty much
guys
did,
like
yeah.
Jimmy Swagger and all those guys. Yeah, he's basically the
You know
great
all
Mac
those.
Daddy.
You know, like when 700 Club has to show up on your television, or like you somehow survived past an hour and a half of terrible Saturday Night Live, and you just have some people talking at like 2 a.m. Yeah, those people
Yeah, Billy Graham really
spearheaded the religious
is the
movement.
it's
man
good
who
that he's dead then,
spearheaded.
right?
What?
So it's good that he died?
No, don't
No.
say that.
Well,
No.
it's,
Was
ne-
he
it's
a bad
never.
dude?
No, he
Well,
wasn't.
don't say
I mean,
that.
he really,
It's never good
It's
to
the-
say somebody
He
like.
wasn't that. All things considered, he wasn't.
Graham supported gay
Bad.
conversion therapy. It's good that he died.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
yeah, that's
no,
terrible,
no.
but
Hey, no,
it doesn't
you-
mean it's good that he died.
Let's
Here's
not
the
say
deal.
it's good
Religion
that people
is a
died.
complex scenario. You have to remember he was 99 years old, and that's also a generational thing.
Yeah, it's
So, I mean,
But then again, like I'm not saying that
I'm
it's-
more bothered by people that are my age or a little bit older that should know better.
Yeah.
That
That.
do that. That bothers me, especially like within the religious community. That always kind of
but it is,
bothered me.
And as much as I don't think we should say it's good that he died, but I think that we should accept that he is the man who spearheaded the sort of things and policies that were pushed forward by the evangelical movement that were harmful to homosexuals, atheists, and a variety of other peoples due to their push of dogmatic sort of ideas.
But I mean, they also the evangelical movement is a very complex, and religion in general is a very complex issue that I
especially in America. Yeah.
especially in America, it
Yes.
is a very divided issue. And one of the things is, as much as there is all that dogmatic badness, there's a lot of good he also did. There's a lot of good that evangelicals also do. There's a lot of good that religion also does. I don't need to point out the amount of charitable work that comes out of religious organizations.
While the charity's great, and that is good, that's good. Nobody's denying that. With the evangelicals, you know their charity work they did in Africa? That's what led to Uganda, because they spread their ideology. They came there to spread their ideology in Uganda, and that is what led to the Ugandan parliament
Nothing's new,
passing
but
that.
that's the history of everyone who comes through tries to spread their beliefs because that's the entire point of going to, like.
Yeah, so they didn't exactly.
You're a history major, aren't
I
you?
am, yeah.
So
You
you
are?
should know all of this.
I do.
You should be far more aware of the fact that this is not just a religious.
Oh, I'm fully aware that this is what people do.
Uh-huh.
Without Uganda, we wouldn't have Ugandan knuckles, so I'm okay with it.
Do you know the way, Bobby?
Gross.
Do you know the
These
way?
issues get more and more complex by the minute.
Can I talk about something?
Yes.
I like how you like pointed a finger in the air.
Yeah, you
Yes.
said, teacher, can I ask a
Teacher,
question?
please.
We bought this game the other day called Tower Unite, which it's kind of like VR chat, but it's not nowhere near as popular as VR chat has become. It has at most like 200 players on it at a time.
Okay.
So, man, we got that.
Are you gonna talk about your slot machine?
Yeah, I have a
adventures?
gambling addiction. I have a fake gambling addiction.
Wonderful.
There's a casino in that game, and I don't have to spend real money, but there are slot machines, and with numerous very high jackpots, and I've spent multiple hours each night sitting and spinning while watching live streams because I have a fake gambling addiction.
Why do you play I actually had a game for the Xbox that was casino.
Yeah.
And I would just sit there. I would play blackjack. I'd play roulette. I'd never play the slot machines though, because I always felt that they were
Slot machines are always rigged.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely rigged. The jackpot went from like 200,000 to 400,000 in the past few days.
I mean, that's just Dave and Buster's, you know.
I mean,
The only-
I won a jackpot in the game. So
Yeah, she got a
like,
jackpot in video poker, but video poker isn't rigged. So.
Yeah. The only like sort of fake gambling I've done in a game, Fallout New Vegas, where it
Yeah.
had the game where you could play blackjack. I used to anytime I would do that, and I'd always I knew the algorithm that they did for Fallout. It's like if you hit, I know the way you do blackjack, so I basically cleaned out every single casino in New Vegas.
I played Go Fish against a crime boss in Spy Fox.
Spy
cereal.
Fox. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had it for the Wii, and
We're getting brutal moose territory. I remember that.
For the Wii, my dude.
It was for the Wii.
It's an old PC
I
game.
know, and they remade it for the
Wii.
original Wii, and it was great.
It's just like the Wii being like 2 generations of video game consoles ago is just weird to me.
Yeah,
That
and then
is-
they brought out the
because-
Wii U, which wasn't very
The
good.
Wii U was garbage.
No, it
But
wasn't.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, we don't talk about the Wii U.
The Switch is nice.
The Switch is great. Oh,
You
yeah.
brought in the Switch.
I
I
did.
thought
I
it was
brought in the
all
Switch
right.
to play 1-2
The
Switch.
Switch is super awesome.
We ended up
I
almost
like
hitting
Switch.
each other.
You should get the Switch.
I don't want to spend money.
Get the Switch.
Yeah, don't spend money.
But,
Don't spend money.
Spy Fox is good. Putt Putt was good. I love Putt Putt. Have you played? Did they have Putt Putt for the Wii?
I think they probably did.
Putt-putt.
I don't know if I
Back
had
in the
it.
day. The
Sam.
Wii takes GameCube. Did
know
you
what?
know that?
Yeah,
the Wii takes
it does.
GameCube.
You
Yeah,
know
it
what
takes
the
GameCube.
best game was? Okay, well, I always liked SimCity.
SimCity.
But,
SimCity was great.
Before they ruined it.
SimCity Creator was kind of a mess when they combined it with the Wii, but it was fun because you'd click on a section and you would just put in a water plant, a fire department, and you put in everything. There's no water, and the fire department doesn't do anything. The police. So I would throw a meteor down right in that
Oh
spot.
yeah, I do the same thing.
It sucks that EA killed Maxis and all the other companies they own
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
wow, EA is garbage.
EA
Sports.
It's
It's
in the game.
EA is
EA
they
Sports.
are
It's in the kill.
releasing a remaster of Burnout Paradise, which
Really?
was a really great Burnout game.
Let's hope they don't
Time
mess
to
with
make
it.
the trash.
All they're doing is upping the resolution and the lighting so they can re-release it on console. They're releasing it on PC, but I don't see a point because they're not
I mean, they'll manage to
they're not
screw it
changing
over.
anything.
Speaking of games, did you get your hand on that? What's that new medieval game? That's
Kingdom
glitchy.
Come Deliverance?
That's glitchy. Yeah.
So it's a new early access RPG.
and it's a bit glitchy.
It's in the style of Bethesda's The Elder Scrolls,
Yeah.
like Oblivion, Skyrim,
Okay, so it's just
but-
staying true to
but
the
it's-
originals.
but it's
yeah. Well, I mean,
it's realistic. So it's medieval,
Yes.
and it's supposed to have really good writing and story and all this other stuff. But it's early access right now, so it's really buggy, and also not complete because it's a 3-act game, and they combined the first 2 acts into this game. It was originally supposed to be 3 separate games.
yeah.
So this game is the first 2 acts, and then it just kind of ends. And
Ha!
the next game that's coming out is Act 3. So,
Oh wow. I mean,
but it looks interesting.
it looks.
it-
The concept itself made me interested. Like a historically accurate medieval.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm game for that. I like the Elder Scrolls, so this should work just fine. But then I
there's no
watched.
fantasy elements to it.
Then I watched a friend.
Well,
then
it's realistic.
Well, then
It is realistic.
then a friend of mine sent me a few memes of the AI glitching out and
Yeah,
few
there's a lot of bugs with it because since it's still early access.
a few bugs. I think he punched a guy in the face, then he just stops, screams, and then starts moonwalking
Yeah.
back away
Yeah.
from him.
Well,
You mean you don't do that?
Yeah, that's what we all
I guess
do.
the writing and the story and the RPG elements has been compared to The Witcher 3 specifically.
That's pretty high praise. I
Is
mean,
it?
I like The Witcher. I really like The Witcher
Yeah.
series. So
Yeah.
it better be, because if it's not,
I haven't. I tried playing the first Witcher game. I tried playing the second one. I couldn't get into those. And then I got The Witcher 3. I tried playing that. I couldn't get into it. And then I came back like later and I tried playing it again. And I just played it like every day through the whole thing.
The Witcher's a
So,
really
like-
good series. Like CD Projekt Red are really good at what they do, and like they've really done a good job with this phenomenal games. I mean, the story's interesting. It's a little difficult to follow at times.
Yeah.
It's like Metal Gear Solid. It's difficult to follow at times.
Well, don't bring up Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid is just insane. Like,
Yeah,
Hideo
I
Kojima-
needed to look up like YouTube videos on the story of Metal Gear Solid to figure out what was going on.
Speaking of Metal Gear Solid and Hideo Kojima,
What about Konami? Hey, you
no,
want to buy a
no,
pachinko?
right? That wasn't what I was going to talk about. But now, like, Konami is publishing this. Konami's publishing another Metal Gear game, but like they don't have Kojima on it, like working on it anymore. So they're just kind of like
How can you
taking
make
his
another one?
series and ruining it completely with this game. It's a survival game in like akin to a zombie survival,
Yeah,
and
and it's with this. Oh my!
it's really weird because they came out like with their privacy policy and stuff on it, and included in their privacy policy is like, don't use this game as a dating service. Don't make relationships through this game. If we catch you doing that, we have the authority to.
What? Why?
And-
Konami? Why?
And also, it if you want multiple save like files, character save files, each like characters, you have to spend $10 for another character.
You're making me pay for
I
save files.
just found something.
You
in
wanna
the
buy a
news that I
pachinko?
think we need to talk about.
Yeah. What is this?
So, you know how the KFC around here always runs out of chicken?
Yeah. What do you?
Apparently the entirety of England ran out of chicken for a week.
I saw a
Wow.
video on
Did you
this.
see this really cheeky response
see.
they released though?
wanna see.
They actually released this.
Ah!
I
So
saw.
let me read. Can I read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
word?
Read it.
We're sorry. A chicken restaurant without any chicken. It's not ideal. Huge apologies to our customers, especially those who traveled out of their way to find we were closed. And endless thanks to our KFC team members and our franchise partners for working tirelessly to improve the situation. It's been a hell of a week, but we're making progress, and every day more and more fresh chicken is being delivered to our restaurants. Thank you for bearing with us. And they rearranged the letters on the KFC bucket to be FCK. Because in England you can get away with that. In America, people would be offended.
Lol.
England is so much nicer.
I saw.
England has its well, England's got its flaws as well.
I saw a video on this, and they just go around. It's like a 2-minute long video. They go around just telling people like, "Oh, KFC's out of chicken," and they're like, these people are all like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do?"
Oh, no,
Like-
they're out
and
of chicken.
the one lady at the end is like, "I've had to go to Burger King."
Oh no!
Chicken.
Lord forbid you had to go to the Burger King.
But speaking of that McDonald's
McDonald's?
Oh, is this about
Remember-
the Happy Meal?
no, remember back in October when the whole Szechuan sauce thing
Yeah.
happened, and they
Oh,
announced,
no,
they
no.
announced that it would be making a return in the winter.
Don't
it's-
appease the
it's
Rick and
supposed to
Morty
be-
fans.
So, according to this, it's supposed to be back as early as next week, and you can just go and get Szechuan sauce at McDonald's now.
But why would
it's
you
widely
want to?
available.
Why would you want to? I thought
So,
Beep,
Szechuan
beep.
sauce returns February 26th.
Isn't the obsession with Rick and Morty dead?
20
finally?
million
Hasn't
cups.
been
Is it?
sold?
Is it?
No, well, it's
20
on
million
hiatus, and then it'll like hype
I
back
know,
up when the
but
new
I
season
mean,
airs.
like, it
So
needs to die.
McDonald's
Yeah.
said they're bringing back the sauce starting Monday, and they're also releasing a 3-part podcast on the whole incident that happened with
Oh,
Rick and
no.
Morty.
the incident
This
is
is-
that what we're
Okay,
referring
can
to
we
it
talk
as
about
now?
what else McDonald's is doing?
What are they doing?
So, you can no longer, they're changing their Happy Meals to
Yeah.
be we need healthier options. So,
So you can't get any
health- you
McDonald's
can't get
food in the
any-
Happy
you
Meal.
can't get-
Any
you can't get a
food?
cheeseburger anymore in Happy Meal. You
Really?
can still get the chicken nuggets, but you can't get a cheeseburger, and you can't get chocolate milk. You can get a,
What are
you can
the
get a
op-
soft drink, but you can't get chocolate
What
milk.
are the options
What?
now then?
You can get chicken nuggets or chicken nuggets. You can get the little tiny fries and the apples or a Go-Gurt. And you can get like a soft drink or a regular milk or a juice, but you can't get chocolate milk because for some reason I guess chocolate milk has more sugar than a Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
so
Like,
I-
what?
I
So
guess they
figure
don't like
Burger King-
diversity.
I like they said, and now every single adult that orders Happy Meals for themselves are gonna be really angry right
I mean,
now.
I always just got the chicken nuggets anyway. So.
Does anybody order Happy Meals?
No,
You
I don't.
You got the toys? What kind of toys do they have now?
Remember, you got like all of the My Little Pony toys.
Back in October, they had My Little Pony,
Oh,
and I didn't
no.
realize they did. But
Oh,
I just standard ordered the girl's toy because the boy's toy is usually some stupid like. So it was a Rainbow Dash like mask, like plastic mask, and it's actually there's a photo of me on Instagram. With
Oh
it.
Lord.
It's-
Do we
It's
need
on
to
the
see this?
internet.
yeah, it's on the
Once you
internet.
put it on the internet, you can never take it off the
I
internet.
know.
One time when I went to Wendy's a few years ago, I got a Shrek mask.
That seems accurate.
Yeah.
So how about that?
So yeah,
Shrek.
there here, just to piss. off.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I
Oh my
saw that.
gosh.
Unfortunately.
I saw that. Unfortunately,
Is anybody
It is
else
very
dying?
it's
Yeah, we
very
got 10 minutes left, so fill it with stuff. Let's talk
Okay.
about some
Yeah,
stuff.
Let's
we're
go.
What did
Street fight, go!
Street Fight?
Street fight.
Street Fight.
Street fight!
Soul Calibur 6 is coming out this year, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Okay, considering that Soul Calibur 5 was
They've
a steaming
they've been-
pile of
can I-
garbage.
they've been
Can I
releasing
lay
some
out-
videos on the characters.
Can I lay out?
And who cares about the characters? We want
cares about
custom
characters?
creation.
No.
Yeah.
Can
Can I,
custom creators the best
Release
part.
videos
Guy-
of Ivy.
can I tell you a pet peeve about
Really, Bobby?
Really?
No, that's what she's known for.
That's not just Sam's thing to do.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, can I just talk about a pet peeve with Soul Calibur and fighting games in general? Why do you keep changing? Why do you have preset combos and you keep changing the specific move pattern that you're supposed to do special moves?
Because
In every
it needs to
single
be
thing.
different.
But no,
And
it's
also,
it's
I
better
mean,
if
Who
you.
uses combos? I
special.
just button. I'm a button
Yeah, that's
masher.
her.
Yeah, I just button mash and I
I
beat
tried to
him.
use combos.
I button mash
Yeah,
too.
especially in Soul Calibur, you just have to button mash.
Soul Calibur, you can just stun lock people and keep hitting them. Like when
Juggle,
No,
juggle,
like,
juggle,
my
juggle,
strategy
juggle,
is
juggle.
just to like get him stuck in the corner. I'm pointing to Bobby.
That's
Stuck in a corner and button mashing.
Just wail on. 'em.
Nobody puts Bobby in a corner.
I've had the time of my life.
Oh no,
What
Joe's
is happening?
singing.
What is happening?
Well, are you gonna start like lifting Bobby up? You're gonna do the dirty dancing. You're just gonna lift Bobby up.
I would pay to see that.
Please don't.
No.
Here we go.
Well, how much are we talking?
How much are you gonna pay me to do that?
$50.
Yo!
Sam lifts Bobby up in that
she
spot
probably
and
can-
holds him.
Okay, I don't know.
I can
No.
lift him
10
up.
seconds.
I can lift him up.
I don't
I
want
don't want to.
I wouldn't give you a penny to do that. I could lift him up.
I don't want to.
No, I've been having problems with my shoulder. I'll probably destroy it if I do that.
Yeah.
So how about I don't know, Final Fantasy 15. That was a good game that came out in 2016. It's coming out for PC next week.
Oh boy.
What?
It's 100 gigabytes.
Oh yeah, it's 100 gigabytes for regular, 150 for 4K texture.
I
so you just
never got the appeal of my
hate
Final
your
Fantasy.
computer. Cool.
Is that the Final Fantasy with the boy band?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I know it.
The
The Final
Choco
Fantasy
Bros?
and involving the cup noodle references.
Yeah,
too
cup
many.
noodles.
Too many.
Listen,
Stop with the
listen.
noodle reference.
Story was awful, but it's like fun to play. It's a really great game.
Horrible story.
Horrible
Gameplay's
story.
great.
Yeah.
Horrible. And I also heard that it almost killed the game market in Japan because it didn't sell well, or
It's still pretty good.
it sold pretty good in Japan because I thought it
did.
I thought it wasn't. It didn't sell that well in Japan, and then Nippon almost killed
Well,
it.
here's the thing with it. They've been pretty much adding content to the game since it came out. So like they've been developing it since it launched pretty much. So it basically released as an early access game, but they've at its point now they've pretty much added a lot of like great stuff to it. What are you pointing at?
Can we talk about the fact that I was watching a video that was like songs that turned 10 years old this year, and like all the, like I
2008.
All the songs from 2008.
2008, yeah.
And I'm
just
like, and I don't
what?
realize, like, I don't, it doesn't hit me, but like, they're like, oh, I Kissed a Girl in Hot and Cold by Katy Perry, Viva La Vida by Coldplay,
Yay!
Poker Face
And
and
Just
Just
Dance.
Dance by Lady Gaga. I'm
Oh
like,
god, middle school.
and all of these people, like, just careers just like imploded last year. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, I can't. We've gone through the cycle. So, who do we think is going to be the next hip, cool pop stars for the next
The
decade?
next hip cool pop stars.
Yeah.
Any of like the 17-year-olds right now doing music.
Like, but I don't like.
But who?
I'd really
Ooh.
like for a rock revival to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna
One of
happen.
these days, damn it.
You know what? I'd really like an actual pop revival to happen, and not this depressing, miserable,
Yeah, no.
horrible sound. Like when
Wait.
Bruno Mars won, and he's like, "I'm sick of all these ballads. Put my song back on." I'm like, "Yes, Bruno."
I actually won't mind if he brings back old school funk because
Oh, I'm chill with that.
Bruno Mars is the best. We're gonna play Bruno Mars.
Yeah, Bruno Mars
We're gonna
is
exit
really
with
good.
Bruno Mars.
He, yeah,
We're gonna
here's the
play-
thing. Bruno Mars at first didn't win me over with his first album, but by his second one, he basically won me over
I haven't
because the
listened.
second one won me over, and the third one's pretty good.
I haven't listened to a single Bruno Mars album.
Yeah, I don't listen to his albums. I just listen to the radio, and
Yeah.
Bruno Mars is on.
I just bop.
I'm just Bob.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other artists that are good from Spotify.
I'd like an
From Spotify.
Yeah, like a lot of
Yeah,
Spotify
that's it.
music. It just brings up music. Hey, listen to this person.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
So, like, one of the people I think might, and she's kind of after that horrible, Camila Cabello or whatever the heck her name. I always pronounce everything
Who?
extra.
that
the one that
the
was
Cuban
from Fifth
girl.
Harmony. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one that did Havana. Like Havana's a good song.
Yeah, Havana's good.
But she also did Bad Things with Machine Gun Kelly, and that song was so bad that it should have ended her career.
Let's take
about,
Fastball, or well, let's take what the Fastball was the band, but
That was a really. It was.
yeah, let's take that
sample.
sample and sample it for a song.
That was bad, but I'm hope she might correct. I thought Ariana Grande was gonna be the future. I think,
know.
but
future.
after what happened
After Manchester.
I
yeah,
think she's
she's kind of
retreated from pop music,
I can imagine.
which I
Nobody would
I
blame her
adore
for
Ariana
that.
Grande.
I love Ariana.
What about
She's so good.
Cupcake? Are you familiar with Cupcake?
No, I'm not.
Can you tell them about Cupcake?
I
What
don't
is
want to
Cupcake?
tell them
Tell them
about
about
Cupcake.
Cupcake.
I
What
don't
is
want to
that?
tell them about
Look her up.
Cupcake.
She's an artist.
Don't look her up.
Yeah,
I'm
listen to
not
her. She's
gonna.
on
Do
Spotify.
not.
I
You
don't
want to
think
know
I
what
will.
artist?
know.
You want to know what artist I think
What
shouldn't?
about Cardi B?
Oh gosh.
The one that sounds like a bone disease. Isn't that what it was or something?
I don't know.
That was the headline.
Julia Michaels, that Issue song, I hate. And people are like, oh, I like that song. I'm like, I'm sorry, but if your voice sounds like you're like, no one should be saying like, I got issues. Like, no, don't do
Yeah.
that.
No, like any music artist that they play at my work, I automatically hate.
Yeah.
Except
yeah.
for Kylie Rae Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
Great.
I love her.
Yo,
You know, you're talking
she
about
can't actually get anything up in the top 10.
I don't
but
care.
You
She's
talk-
just like
she's a
perfect
beautiful-
generic pop. I love
Yes.
We
her.
listened to her
We need more
full
of
album.
her.
Since you
on
guys are
Spotify.
talking about pop, I'll just handle the rock end of the spectrum. For what I see for rock and country on my end, I'd like to
Country.
I'd like to see that like a sort of more organic. And my friend Zach and I, Zach's here at
Non-GMO
the,
country singer.
yeah,
Yeah, we need some of that.
more old
GMO
school, like
country.
sort of rock influenced, like outlaw stuff, like Sturgill Simpson and Chris Stapleton,
I
stuff
can
like
get
that.
behind that, yeah.
Yeah, and for rock, I definitely see a lot of. There are some young bands that actually hit #1 on the rock charts and actually did semi decent. Like for example, that Greta Van Fleet band. I hope those kids do great. They sound great. There's definitely.
Rock's gonna hold its own, but
I mean...
pop is still pop, but pop is in a very
No,
it's
I-
correcting out of itself. But there was a point where Coldplay was the peppiest music on the radio, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What is going on?"
That-
Coldplay is not happy.
Well, nobody's
But
happy
no, like,
anymore.
in the rock and alternative scene, like, a lot of people are getting, like, overproduced and poppy, and it's just gross.
What?
yeah.
Fall Out Boy? No way.
Hey, Mania sounded good.
Yes.
Fall Out Boy's
Fall-
an exception.
Mania sounds good.
Fall Out Boy's always an
I
exception.
didn't. Yeah.
I know what I find funny with Bobby is we were having the argument about back in freshman year with Immortals, and I liked the Immortals version from Big Hero 6, but you explicitly said you liked the one from the album because it had more real instrument sound to it, and it sounded like they were really playing.
It's-
And now you like Fall Out Boy's electronic,
Yeah, well,
overproduced.
it's changed. It's been 4 years.
Like Bobby has gone full
Wait,
like
Immortals is 4 years?
three.
Three. Well, yeah.
oh
whatever.
my god, what?
We're old.
It came out with
You're
Big Hero
old.
6.
Yeah, we were freshmen.
Yeah.
The show had just started. We were talking about guardrails and
Guardrails.
And how guardrails murked you.
you were probably listening to us at NC.
I
Yeah, in
And D. Schnitz.
in D. Schneid's room, and then everybody got mad.
What?
Because everybody started hanging out there to eat lunch, and then I was still playing the radio show, and they're like, "What is this?"
Oh, us?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We were bad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
don't worry. The show was eventually saved with the presence of me.
Oh
Well,
no!
It was eventually
Is
saved. It was eventually saved.
It was eventually saved when Bobby woke up one
Yeah.
morning and decided, I can talk!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened a while ago.
You had some
Yeah.
character though, for a while. I liked you guys had some good controversy you milked with James.
That was like 2
The
episodes.
James character arc.
The James
That was the
character
best
arc.
arc when he got replaced by the puppet.
We need a James redemption arc.
Yeah, he
Well,
comes
the
back
puppet.
after being
Yeah, let him come
stabbed.
back.
He's
James
now a
did nothing wrong.
priest.
He'll
He
come back.
shows
He's
up.
bald. He's wearing a black robe. He's a priest.
Yeah, I mean, he left to become an Anglican
Monk.
priest. Sunrise over Moscow. He decided to live in the Soviet Union.
He's living in Russia now.
He's
Where
having a
where
good
is he?
time.
I don't know where he is.
He
Does anybody know
was
where-
in New York, but I haven't heard it from him in a while.
New York
A
City?
long time. Yeah, he lived in Austining. So
What was it?
Wow. James, wherever he is, I'm sure.
James, please do not come back.
Or as I've called him, racist
Start the-
Sean Connery.
Start the kazoo version of My Heart Will Go On.
Yes.
All right, it's hot in here.
I'm done.
And
time
it's
to
1
go
o'clock.
home.
So tune in next week for more wild and wacky adventures. It was fun having Sam on to like. Not,
We always like having guests on the show. We
Yeah.
rarely get
yeah,
them.
sure.
She provided a counterbalance to Joe,
I try.
like which sometimes we need because my counterbalance is just to start like
Screaming.
yeah
Yeah.
we need a calm counterbalance.
You-
And Bobby can't counter. Bobby just
Bobby's Bobby.
Bobby turtles.
Counterattack.
He just
Bobby
goes full.
turtles.
I
he
do.
goes
I do. I
full-
turtle in strategy games too, like RTS.
Turtling is the best strategy.
So for night 124, I'm Nico.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Sam.
You're
And we'll see you next week. Same WNIA time, same WNIA channel.
same place.
Same place.
Same
place.
Same place, same time, whatever, same thing.
same stuff, different day.
Same stuff, different. We don't change, and neither should you.
Bye, everybody.
So long.